Okay, episode 9 already, and this time we're going to Suzuka. It's looking good. It's sunny in quali, sunny in the race. Let's see the progress history. So we didn't bring any upgrades, but a lot of the other teams did. So we might have a tougher time fighting with the top teams now. Let's see. Let's go to one-shot quali.
The beloved Suzuka had a couple of unplanned years away from the calendar, but it's now back where it belongs, at the heart of the Formula One season. Welcome along to the Japanese Grand Prix. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, Cookie, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Gasly, Maldonado, Magnussen, Albon, Ocon, Joe, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Stroll, Sargent, De Vries, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is none other than Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Cookie. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? But we'll soon find out. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
okay. Now stay alert for threats around you. That's P5, you're in P5. It's Verstappen ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 2.7 seconds. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. Okay, 18 laps to go. Okay, DRS will be enabled at this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Gap to your teammate behind is 3.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 11th. Your last lap time was 1 minute 31.0. Verstappen's ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was 1:30.1. Right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. Fastest lap at this point in time is 1 minute 29.1. We don't currently have the data for that request. who are leading our teammate by 5.1 seconds. Okay, you've got P5, P5. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Leclerc is behind you. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, gap to leader, 3.8 seconds. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Leclerc behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:31.3. Okay, so the time last lap was a 1:31.1. Okay, the car ahead's beginning to pull away. You know what to do. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now. Box, we're coming in this lap. 1.9 seconds. Okay, we had an issue attaching the left rear wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us now and get back into this race. Right, red flag, hold in the pits. We're going to hold you in the pits. Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the... We've done all right so far, but this is a chance to take a breath. We've got another half of this race to go, and there's still a big opportunity there. We're getting underway in just a moment. Stand by. Lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. There's a new strategy available on the MFD. Understood, copy that. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens. Okay, clear. Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. we're last of the running cars right now. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Okay, gap ahead is 1.5 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. And that's 8 laps to go. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. Gap to the car in front is 1.6 seconds. Piastri's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 0.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:29.9. Managing your tyres, manage your tyres. Okay, you're in P21. De Vries is ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 20.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Piastri's behind. They're on fresh softs. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 19.7 seconds. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid. Yellow flag. Green flag. Okay, that's De Vries ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 18.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 31.8. You're gaining by 1.6 seconds a lap. Gap to the car in front is 17.0 seconds. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Gap to your teammate ahead is 27.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're sitting in 7th. Time last lap was a 1:31.4. We're currently trailing our teammate by 27.2 seconds. And we're in P20. Bottas is ahead of you now. Okay, gap ahead is 15.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Piastri's behind you now. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Our gap to the car in front is 15.6 seconds. Final lap, push. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
There's a few contenders, but George Russell definitely stood out, I think. A really solid drive from him today, and one I'm sure the fans enjoyed.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack.
Okay, that was not the race we wanted. Hopefully things will go a bit better in Qatar. Or is it Qatar? I don't know. Okay, so we've got a sprint weekend coming up. Obviously, no rain in Qatar. Okay, we've got a message about next year's regulations. So I'm guessing we'll need to keep some R&D points on the side to adapt some of our upgraded car parts. Let's keep an eye on this. Okay, let's see our car performance. We are still the 5th team on the grid. We brought, let's see, 2 upgrades, a chassis upgrade and an engine upgrade. So because of that we got a boost in car performance, but it's basically the same for Ferrari and Aston Martin. Mercedes and Red Bull have stayed the same, so the top teams are even closer together now. Let's see how that will play out. Let's go to one-shot quali.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Perez, Verstappen, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Cookie, Gasly, Maldonado, Ocon, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Joe, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Stroll, De Vries and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. Here we go then, the formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint. As all the cars take their positions on the grid, the final preparations have been made, and all that's left is for the drivers to deliver on track.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. That's P7 now, P7. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Norris behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. The distance to the leader is 3.2 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining. Verstappen ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 23.2. Right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap. Gap to your teammate behind is 2.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 11th. And the time last lap was a 1:24.0. we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. P7, 7th place. Verstappen's ahead of you, less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Norris is behind you. Our gap behind is 2.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 3.3 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Let's go, final lap. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Well, that wraps up the sprint. All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Welcome back to Qatar and the Lusail International Circuit. There's a long history of two-wheeled motorsport action here, but in 2021, Lewis Hamilton won out as part of an epic battle that year with Max Verstappen. But who will win out tonight? So we're back here in Losail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS though, through the long straight and into turn 1. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Perez, Cookie, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Albon, Maldonado, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Magnussen, Joe, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Stroll, Sargent, De Vries, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Anthony Davidson, a lot of talented drivers out on the track today, but what will stand out for you?
My focus is 100% on the front of the grid. Like you said, we're seeing a lot of strong competition across those positions, so it would be super interesting to see the fight for that front spot. Personally speaking, I'm hoping for plenty of overtakes.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, win the points.
Focus now for the rest of the race. P5. That's Russell just ahead. Push for the position. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Perez is behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 1.6 seconds. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. 19 laps to go. We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 24.1. Okay, you're dropping back by around 0.2 each lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 9th place. Your last lap time was a 1:24.8. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 2.4 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind is 1.5 seconds. Okay, you've got P5, P5. Russell's ahead of you now. They're on old mediums. Perez is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, gap to leader, 3.8 seconds. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. All right, 16 laps to go. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. tyre condition still looking good. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 9th place, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 26.2. In this lap, push now. Let's go, come on! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Look after these tyres now if you want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, we're currently at the back, that's last place. With Reese just ahead, let's push for that position. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 7.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, 12 laps to go. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.7 seconds. ahead's coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now running medium tyres. Okay, some information on Gasly. They seem to have an issue. Okay, that's Pastor in the pits. Pastor's in the pits. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 3.0 seconds. Okay, clear. Fourth position, Bottas ahead, and gap to the car in front is 7.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Leclerc is behind you, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. The distance to the leader is 21.6 seconds. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. Okay, gap ahead is 1.7 seconds. Front of the pack, Leclerc behind. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now if you want to finish the race on this compound. And that's 8 laps to go. flag. Gap to your teammate behind is 7.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're 8th. Time last lap was a 1:24.6. Gap to the car in front is less than 1 second now. Well done. Let's try and get past in the DRS zone. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left. They're ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. The last lap time was a 1:24.5. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap. Keep going. Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip any time now. We're in second place. Sainz ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Leclerc behind. They're on old mediums. Your pit window is open. Pit window currently open. 4 laps remaining. Well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Okay, sat in P2. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Pit window's now open. Pit window is open. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Ah, fantastic drive, that's just fantastic, amazing, you deserve that race win, well done mate.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way onto the podium now. So let's review the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Cookie.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.